Hello and welcome to Sports Den, coming to you live from the Riverside Arena in Winnipeg, Manitoba. My name is Matt Lewis, and I'm joined here today by this awesomely looking red squirrel, Donovan Ritter. Welcome.
Thanks very much for having me, Matt.
No problem. I am fantastically energized because this is going to be a pretty interesting matchup. It's the Winnipeg Voyagers hosting the San Jose Thrust, two teams from the Western Conference that are battling it out for division supremacy, really. But we have quite a few different things to talk about today about these two teams, don't we?
Absolutely. One thing we had noticed and we were talking about before the game was the difference in offense and defense with these teams. The Voyagers are leading the conference in steals, and the Thrust are practically losing on turnovers. So I think that may develop into a very interesting dynamic in the course of the game.
Yeah, we're going to need to watch the defense of the Voyagers and see if they take advantage of that particular weakness of the Thrust today. Players to look out for this evening, I would say, the starting five pretty strong for the Voyagers. You have Timmins at guard, Martineau, Carbonneau, Malka, of course, the three famous Canadians of the team. The crowd here loves them, so expect a lot of cheers when they score. Starting for center is Pierre Carreau, who has not had a hugely long career, though. This is his opportunity to shine tonight. And then, of course, from the Thrust side, we talk about Adam Tevela all the time, as well as Duet Kakar. I would imagine that, again, these two teams pretty evenly matched, so it should be a really close game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And with that, I think we're ready to go. I see the players heading out towards the court, so let's listen in.
Here we go.
Here we go. Are you ready for some basketball?
I sure hope so, because that's why we're here.
And there we go. Malka with the recovery of the tip-off. Throws it over to Timmins, who hands it over to Carbonneau.
Takes a long shot and does not make it.
Yep. Kakar recovers that and tosses it immediately over to Tevela, who was in position to make his first shot. Misses as well. So, Donovan, sweet Donovan, who would you pick for winning this game tonight? Who do you think? Even before we even have an idea.
Oh, it's a little early to tell. I think I would lean on Winnipeg, just given the discussions we were having about defense and turnovers. And of course they're at home.
Yeah, I mean home team advantage. Yeah, and I would, for the fun of it, I'm going to pick the Thrust. I think offensively they're doing a little bit better thus far in the season, and I like the surprise of a victory.
And you like to be contrary.
Pretty much. So it's tied at 2. You got San Jose heading up here and makes it a 2-point lead now for the Thrust.
All right, Caro to Timmins.
And what are your thoughts on, I would say, the starting five of Winnipeg? I was trying to say earlier that Caro, being one of the newest to the team, he came over from Plymouth for the offseason, doesn't have a whole lot of experience. So what would you say to, when you have a starting lineup where is one new guy and 4 guys? As the Thrust, do you send your team after the new guy to try and find the weakness?
I mean, there's always advantage in that, especially we're a little later into the season now, but especially early on, you want to see if that's what's happening, if there's a weak point that you can probe while people are finding their stride with a new team, a new play style. Hopefully by now, Connor's gotten some sense of what's expected.
Yeah, he's got the ball right now. We just missed the first foul of the game. That was Runica Falcom with the reach-in. So Winnipeg got the ball back but failed to score. San Jose are now bringing it back up. Tied at 4 apiece with about just under 10 minutes left in this first quarter. And San Jose will get the ball back after that mistake. Yeah, Timmins has been pretty key to the success of this team the last several years, but they've just not been able to crack, the first place of the division.
I know they have high
So
hopes with so much of the Canadian Olympic team working with them after their performance this year.
yeah, the trainers and especially the I guess the buzz around being Olympic champions has been really motivational for several of the teams from Canada, especially Winnipeg now, as they've gone under this rebrand.
A very solid
See-
rebrand too, I've got to say. I love the new logo.
Yeah, what do you think about the colors? They kind of darkened them. It has a much solid, modern look, don't you think?
I do. I do like it a lot. I think it was a good move. Definitely a good choice.
Now they're
It
not,
was about time.
as San Jose misses that shot from the paint. And 64
Timmins
recovers.
open.
Oh! That was fantastic. There was Mike Timmins there with this flash dunk.
And no defense. He just completely broke out with him.
Oh, yeah. I think it was Shuck that just fell over. The quick shot there makes it only a 2-point game now.
Well,
Both teams are 3 of 7 in field goals thus far.
right. Looking for an opening. He's going right in. And Martin with score.
10 points now for Winnipeg. Yeah, I am a huge fan of this redesign. Oh, and Tevla, quick shot there, not letting that lead stay that big for that long. Yeah, the redesign has been fantastic. Now, for the shot, number 95 making it there. Ashbury will take this up the court. And where is the defense on that? Guess it doesn't matter because Caro got the rebound.
Yep.
And they're going to let him get his sweet time too with the ball. I've been fairly surprised by that particular statistic. But yeah, now Winnipeg up by 6. So they are quick to get the points necessary to build a lead here.
And absolutely what you want to do at home.
Oh yeah, the crowd probably helps with that a lot.
Yeah.
I have to say, this team again, they started here in 2011. Now 10 years later, the city has fully embraced them. They've always been a competitive team. They just have not had an opportunity in a while now. It's been several years, and if they've got, and then one of the things that was very important for them to do in the offseason was to bring back the key 3 players I was talking about. It was Malka with being, I think, the longest of the 3, but Carbonneau and Martino as well. Signing them all back in the offseason was essential to this team's success. Now he's showing off.
Absolutely.
I was wrong. Caro is not to be messed with, as he, I believe, was the one who got that dunk.
Well, he's trying to
Long
make
shot
it.
there, though.
Yeah.
Gakar with a quick, I think it was 2 points, makes it, again, only a 2-point game.
Though you were saying, actually, Martin was new to the team. He came from Edmonton just this year.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Well, he's an essential addition to what I would call, oh man. It's early on in the game. The defense hasn't kicked in apparently quite yet, and it's now tied.
That happened quick.
Now this is Timmins finding the right play to move forward. Throw in with Carl. He's got to make a shot and misses.
This is
Now Tevela with the ball. He's probably got the best, say one of the best shooters for the Thrust for several years now, and probably one of the best jumpers of the team.
yeah.
Maybe apart from the good old boy Wyatt.
Well, there's a lot of loyalty there after events of the past few years. In both directions, really.
And
That was
Joseph
foul.
Na gonna get caught, and we will go for the free throw line. So you said Martineau is new. I made a mistake there, of many that will be prevalent through the course of this game, I'm sure. We should mention too, it's our first game together, and in several years, it's been an honor really to be able to broadcast this game to you from Canada today, alongside you. But in terms of Martineau, what do you think led him to decide then that to give this team a chance? Because again, we've been looking at the last several years. They've been trying so hard to emerge to the top of the division. It just has not happened.
I suspect several things played in it. I'm sure the Olympics did. Getting a chance to play together in a different arena entirely. And I suspect, Edmonton is in its own rebuilding phase right now. And it's possible he wanted a chance to shine on a different stage.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's a lot of connections between those two teams, and even when you don't have, you've got the rivalry of competitive provinces. You have to imagine that there's a little bit of, monetary compensation involved in that transaction.
Well, I mean, it is professional basketball.
Yeah. But you know what? I will give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe we can interview him sometime and get the real story. And this free throw is good. It is 2 points up Winnipeg with 3:47 left in the first.
Looking to make it a 1-point game. Or no, to extend the lead, rather. See, you're not the only one making mistakes.
Well, you know what? As Gakar gets the rebound, hands it over to Karastados. We have given a lot of attention now, of course, to the team that's in the lead. But now it's a tie game with the Thrust, and they have the better field goal percentage at the moment, shooting about 60%. So they just need to get more shots out there. But that might be Winnipeg's defense coming in, as we said.
I'm not sure we've seen quite the turnovers we were expecting. Not so far.
Yeah, we can't, know terribly much until probably the fourth quarter. But this is turning out to be one of these games that you cannot look away from, because we're getting, it's going pretty much back and forth. Second foul now, I believe.
Yep.
For Kakar, and Winnipeg goes into bonus mode. But I have been pretty impressed by the effort of the Thrust to, maybe they've been working on this now that they know they were having problems early on in the season. But I would imagine that there's a lot of game left to be played, and these players that have been on the court thus far are getting their first rest, as we're seeing kind of the bench players now for the first time. This could be where we start seeing a few more mistakes, as Karastados goes in for the basket to make it now 22 points all.
They are running closer together than I think I expected. Excellent.
Middendorf. And Middendorf comes over from Montana. This is about his 4th or 5th team throughout his career. Oh, and there's your first steal, but it was the thrust. And Karastados with the easy layup.
Yeah, away from Paijun Lin, who's one of their rookies.
So now the Thrust have their first lead of the game and go up by 2.
Got Caro back in after that.
Caliber over to Middendorf, passing around. Looking for an opening. Baltaev is going to take it in and misses.
There's Karastados to McMillan.
And McMillan with a quick dunk. Jonas McMillan. Now we have to give the Thrust some credit here because they've turned over the momentum early on here with about 2 minutes left in the game. They are now up by 4.
Yeah, they're definitely capitalizing on those errors.
Under the basket, another missed shot from the Voyagers. And they're giving their sweet time to get these plays set up too, but I would have to say still pretty early on to really have any clear indication of where this game is going. Kakar missing from about the 20-foot line. Middendorf over the Baltaev. And the dunk from Caro! That's 6 points, 4 rebounds this far for Caro.
Yeah, he's starting. I mean,
you had questions.
Yeah. You had questions at the beginning of the game about how that was going to play out, but
I was, that's mistake number 2 apparently.
No, I just think he's certainly making an effort to show he belongs.
And that's what a new player needs to do. I think when you have one new guy amongst a group of 5 like that, and then we said Martineau is technically new as well, but he's had more opportunities to play amongst these other guys on the team. That's what you expect. The steps up and commit to. Playing just as hard as the other guys. Just the unsung hero, if you will.
Yep.
Taev.
Looking for an opening. And he makes it.
Nice layup there from the rookie. About 45 seconds left in this first quarter. McMillan will bring it up. Karastados. He's going to take it through the paint, passes McMillan, and that's the 3-pointer that the Thrust needed to get a 5-point lead. And this might be the last opportunity for the Voyagers to score here in this quarter.
Looking for the shot. There's Baltaev, and he misses it.
Oh, man. So now will Wyatt try to get something done quickly here before the quarter is over? Hands it over to Kakar, to Karastados, and he's fouled. That's a horrible foul from Eli Shuck.
Oh, the crowd doesn't like that. Can't blame them.
With 6 seconds left, this is not the kind of thing in any quarter that you want to be doing. So both shots made.
Yeah.
Can they get a quick score in?
Oh, and there's a turnover.
Yeah, that's it. So there you have it. That's the first quarter over. The Thrust are up by 7, 33-26.
All right. So your prediction's looking good so far.
Yeah, the offense of the Thrust was able to take over in the second half of that quarter and make this a competitive game here. It was a 7-point lead. They will start the second quarter here as Karastados brings up straight towards the hoop and misses. So are there any particular players on the Thrust that you've been impressed by thus far this season?
I think we're seeing a lot of good games coming from a lot of them. Tavala is always a solid player, but I've also been impressed with Ashbury. He's not getting
Ashbury.
He is also a long-term solid player, but he's not getting quite the same amount of publicity this game. But he's playing solidly.
Thrust have been experimenting at the point guard position a few times between Ashbury and Karistados, as Karistados 10 points so far in this game. But Ashbury has traditionally been the cornerstone. This is his second year, I should say, being with the Thrust, coming over from Montana as Winnipeg. That's the second foul from Eli Shuck. And the coach is basically over it.
Yeah, that's just the crowd.
Complete disassociation of why it will come in. I would hope to see more of Ashbury, but it seems like they're trying to find their best unit still, who they want to lead, and maybe they're giving equal opportunity to both the players to fight for that leadership position. Karistados here completely getting blocked.
Yeah.
And that's the Winnipeg defense coming in. Caliber.
Oh, and there's
and he's blocked too.
Both these defenses finally warming up.
I've been impressed, yeah. To O'Malley. Bronwyn. The easy layup.
Absolutely.
So Caliber was their first round pick from 2019, as he throws it over to, that's Shuck still. Caliber, easy two. It's still 7-point game, but I'm feeling pretty good about both teams keeping the energy high thus far.
You know, it's still playing a good game, but the Thrust have clearly picked up the momentum, even against the tough crowd here at home for the Voyagers.
Yeah. McMillan there makes it a 40-31, just under 10 minutes. Now hand it over to Goodnight.
Oh.
And
third foul for Shuck.
That is the third. What is going on here? Yeah, they're bringing him out, getting some of the starting lineup back in for the Thrust. Middendorf and Lynn now being substituted for Carbonneau and Malka. That's the right move there, in my opinion. But they're leaving Shuck in, I believe.
That's surprising. Most coaches would be pulling them by this point.
Well, there's a risk of being at 3 fouls if he gets one more. So Carbonneau over to Caliber.
Looking for the opening.
Voyagers could use a couple threes here to get back into it very quickly. As he passes the Goodnight. Shot clock. Needs to make a shot here. Off the rim. But they do get the rebound. Malka.
Oh.
Misses and Falcom recovers. And so I have been pretty much expecting a little bit more defensively from the Voyagers. They would really need something to happen soon, as Goodnight goes for 3 again and misses. And Shuck recovers.
Trying to redeem himself a bit.
It's not that they haven't been making the shots either. They just haven't been going in. Winnipeg, I mean.
Right.
So now San Jose waiting for the play to set up. Going to take it into the paint here and off
Get
the rebound. It's Carbonneau. And he gets a clean lane, and that's in. Need more plays like that from the Voyagers if we're going to expect them to get this lead back.
I'm not even sure what happened there. They just suddenly there was a path.
I think there was some miscommunication there on the thrust side. So they get the rebound. O'Malley there for the 2. 9-point game now with just under 7 minutes left. Now number 95. He gets a clean lane.
Oh, but misses.
And O'Malley now with the ball, trying to get some distance. Almost drops the ball over to Ashbury now. Falcom.
Thinking about the 3, deciding against it.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah. Not arguing that it was a bad call. He just had that moment.
And Winnipeg there with a quick score. Ashbury.
Yep, he's back out.
Almost took it out of bounds accidentally. Aquino. We've not seen much from him today, but misses. Knight gets the rebound pass over to Shuck.
Gets the rebound.
Over to Carbonneau. And Carbonneau was looking to take it all the way up, but backs up and gets the 2 shot.
Yeah, he looked like he had a clean lane there.
He has 9 points and 7 rebounds already in this game.
Oh.
As O'Malley gets fouled, Winnipeg does not look happy about that.
No, they are hurting this game for fouls.
And they're going to pull Goodnight and Caliber on the Voyagers side to bring in Timmins and Martineau. So they're almost fully back to their starting lineup.
Can't say you blame them with the situation they're in.
Well, they're only down by 5. And now is the time, I think, that you could make a huge difference here. That was a great 3. I missed who shot that.
I did. No. Oh,
So
that was a
Timmins.
keynote. Yeah.
Welcome on the rebound. Passes over to Aquino again. And he's almost there. Passes back. And misses.
Shuck with the rebound.
Martineau.
With the layup. 6-point game.
6-point game. We are now probably looking at 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Could they? Well, I will say this as San Jose now makes it a 8-point game. Could they potentially hold this lead to be a double-digit score, or do you think Winnipeg has it in them to bring it back? We talked about the prowess of their defense, but we haven't seen it tonight. What about the offense?
Well, they do have, and I am surprised they're running behind as much as they are. I absolutely think they still have it in them to pull this game back, but it is as we go to a double-digit lead from the thrust.
Aquino there with the quick 2.
He has been on fire the last few minutes.
Yeah, the guard getting his sweet time. I believe that was Timmins with the 2-point there to make it 8 again. Ashbury bringing up now. Over to Aquino. When a player is hot, you keep them on the court. I would say for the Thrust right now, they're the ones. Oh, that's a failed dunk attempt there, though. It was recovered quickly by Winnipeg. This
Shuck with the quick, easy layup.
Yep. Second goal of the game, though. And the Thrust will take a timeout here. It's first timeout of the game, I think.
It is. Trying to hold off that momentum building, probably.
Yeah, it was probably not so much for the fact that they need to regroup, but keep Winnipeg, as we're now with a 6-point difference, keep them from getting any sort of momentum as we approach the 2 minutes left in this quarter. And the steal there by Caro. What was I saying? And he goes in for the 2.
There we go.
Fantastic play there from Winnipeg. Makes it a 4-point game now.
There's the defense we've been talking about all night.
I was wondering when that was going to... Oh, there's again! Timmins!
The crowd's loving it.
But misses the rebound, so Kakar will get a chance to show the Thrust how it's done with the quick 2. So 6 points, just under 2 minutes now. Timmins brings up the ball, up court. Chuck signaling that he's open. That's something he doesn't like about the play here. There we go. Martineau with 3. Excellent. The crowd is re-energized as it is now a one-shot game.
I mean, if you're having to play catch-up, this is the kind of crowd you want to hear back.
Exactly. I don't have any real feelings about how the first 10 minutes of this quarter was played out, but the last 2 minutes have been really exciting for the Voyagers. It now is a 1-point game.
And with the rebound.
And the Thrust.
Oh.
Manage. With a good defensive play by Karistados, managed to keep the Voyagers from getting the lead back. Of course, they will have a shot attempt here. But Timmins turns it over immediately. And Joseph Na bringing it up court.
For the layup.
Quick 2. So I've been impressed thus far by the Thrust's ability to keep the Voyagers at bay. We did see a quick burst of energy here, and I have to wonder, as we get close to the end of this quarter, if we can keep that energy alive the third quarter and see Winnipeg get back to the top. Now it's down 5.
Yeah, this one's moving fast.
We've seen quick bursts of energy from both teams in the second half of this quarter, as it looks like Winnipeg is satisfied enough to get maybe a shot in here before.
There's Martineau, he misses.
And that will do it. That's your halftime. Yeah. San Jose up by 5. By a score of 57-52.
All right.
It's the best halftime show ever. Beautiful.
Here it is.
So talented. Oh, man. But they had to cut it short. All right. So, yeah, we talked about Winnipeg's ability to stay on top here. Carbonneau leads the pack with 16 points. Pierre Caro stepping up with 10 points. Deneau also 10 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists 4 of 6 from the field goal line. Malka unable to score thus far. That's completely unusual for him. 2 rebounds, 1 assist. 8 points for Mike Timmons with the single turnover. Eli Shuck is going to need to be a little careful there.
Yeah, 3 fouls.
And 4 points for Caliber. Middendorf, small points. It's a small period of time, 9 minutes. Page and Lynn. And with 7 minutes, Jeremy Goodnight gets 5 points, 1 rebound. Head over to the thrust side of things. Runica Falcom, no points scored, but 6 rebounds, 1 assist. Luca Carr, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, and a turnover. Ashbury, over 14 minutes, 6 points, 2 assists. And Adam Tevla, only a single shot, 1 assist, and 1 foul. Karistados getting the most of his 11 minutes with 10 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal. Joseph Na, 6 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Bronwyn O'Malley, in 10 minutes, 7 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. It's a pretty solid play overall, I would say, Dominic.
Absolutely.
Sorry, Donovan.
No, it's been a solid game. I still am surprised by the Voyagers' defense not stepping up quite as much as we expected.
And what the stats here are proving to me as well is that the bench has been coming in and playing solid ball for the teams thus far.
Definitely.
So now we are headed to the third quarter, and San Jose will start the second half of the game. San Jose looking for an opening. Behind the back pass to Falcom. Back to Na.
Takes the shot, misses.
So Martineau will get the rebound, passes it quickly to Carbonneau, who brings it up court. Lots of dribbling. And another missed shot. As per tradition, both teams have to miss a shot before they figure out, oh, we're playing basketball now.
Does feel very much like the beginning of the game.
Yeah, you know, got to dust your shoulders off, get the fur preened, things like that. I can understand it.
Well, there's Caro with the rebound.
Passes over to Timmons, and Timmons over the head pass to Caro, who will get the first shot of this half.
Now we're back to a 3-point game.
Yeah, I have to imagine, and we don't discuss much about like coaching strategy. You and I, at least, you know, in our careers, we've often focused on the player aspects of things and what they have to say. But as far as the Voyagers' coaching is concerned, now as the game is tied, this will be a little bit irrelevant quite quickly. But what do you say to a team when they're down and they have an opportunity to, you know, quickly get back in the game? We've seen now in the quick 2 minutes here that the game is tied up. What do you do to make sure that happens?
I think every coach approaches that differently, but the strategies I think that work the best are just reminding them of, you know, this is a solid team. They know that. They've demonstrated it over and over, and you just remind them that hey, you know, you're better than this. Which they seem to be pretty intent on proving this half.
It's another turnover prevented.
Yeah.
By the athleticism of Winnipeg, who are now up.
Back in the lead.
So we have game, which we already knew. I have to admit, been a little bit down and out on a couple instances for both teams now. So Falcom with the long three. This is though, and Malka recovers it. About Kevin Malka not having scored at all in the first half. What are your thoughts on as he turns it over here?
It's not. I mean, this seems entirely underwhelming to say, but it's not been a great game for him.
No, it's very uncharacteristic. He maybe defensively still holds pretty well to, well, I would say it's a key play for Winnipeg to hold their lead.
Yeah.
He has not been a huge factor in tonight's game.
He hasn't, and that's surprising.
Ashbury to Tevela, who is under the basket.
Takes the layup and he gets it.
Layup. Yep. Should expect nothing less.
Well, even he hasn't been scoring as much as we might have expected.
I've seen pretty good athleticism from the Linsang tonight, but I would not necessarily say this is his best outing so far. Yves Carbonneau with 13 points now on the game. He's having an okay outing. Yeah, I'm hoping to see a little bit more from Malka in the second half. Ashbury with the quick two. Ties the game up at 63. It's over to Timmins now. And he'll take it all the way up, but misses the layup. Tevela now here. Let's see what he can do to prove you wrong. Oh, he'll pass it.
Or not.
Well, it's a team effort.
It is.
Eastern Dragon, rookie year, over the Falcom with the dunk.
I mean, that was barely a dunk. He just kind of stood up on his tiptoes.
Yeah, he's got the advantage of height, I will not deny. So Winnipeg now down by 2 again. And Malka misses.
Another.
So San Jose to Tevela. Easy layup, 4-point game. Yeah, I think they've been listening to us. I have to wonder sometimes if there's like a channel of audio that's being broadcast, the frequencies, and they know as Timmins gets his first shot, I believe, of the half. San Jose now here with an opportunity to make it keep their lead. Almost loses the ball. Here's that Winnipeg defense.
Yeah, but good ball.
Rebound.
Keeping it in his control.
Yeah, they didn't make the shot, but they kept the travesty from happening there. Timmins is getting double guarded here. He needs to find somebody open. He does, and Martineau
misses. Walker with the rebound,
Walker
and there
recovers
he
and
ties the game up.
I'm sure he's just as relieved as we are. And being able to prove that he knows where the basket is tonight. So Ashbury, he'll take it all the way up and is in.
There we go. That dramatic. It's just the ball being dramatic now.
Yeah, when it comes to players, Ashbury sticks out like sore thumb.
He
Mantis
does.
Shrimp.
Bright blue.
And I know it's probably brought up in every game that's ever broadcast ever. But he really does just kind of like shine on the court. And there's a foul from Malka. It'll be his first.
Oh, the crowd is not approving of that.
Well, I don't think he wants to be fouled either.
No.
He's still talking about it. So they'll go up to the free throw line. San Jose has an opportunity here to make it a 3-point game. And they do. That was some synchronized substitution.
Was.
It's pretty awesome, actually. I wonder if they practice that. With a second shot, and it's in. It is a 4-point game, 71-67, just under 5 minutes in the third quarter. So now Winnipeg.
Oh, straight up.
Nice.
Easy layup.
Any thoughts on Eric Balteev? He was the rookie for the Voyagers this year, the first to be drafted, I believe.
He is, and so far he seems to be having a pretty solid season.
Yeah, Caro getting fouled there. Yeah, I have been impressed by his play just as much as I have been by Pierre Caro, of course, but also just, these two teams have given ample opportunity to their rookies. And both of them are not necessarily old. Like the oldest player on the Thrust is Gakar, who's starting his 8th season this year, followed closely by Tevela in his 7th season. But that's, when you're at your prime, really. So it's a generally young team, the Thrust. And on the flip side, I would say similarly, the Winnipeg Voyagers have a handful of 8- and 7-year players who have a variety of different positions. So I think in terms of age, Winnipeg being slightly older, it's interesting to see that there are still opportunities to their rookies.
Well, even given that the teams are a little younger, you do want to spend the time to develop your new talent.
Absolutely, and we're not too deep into the season yet. There's still a lot of games to be played. Now's the time to give those younger players opportunities to prove that they have what it takes and potentially, give them that opportunity to take over. If you feel like they're your future, and they look like they're earning it, yeah.
I'd say Balteev certainly has been.
McMillan there with a quick 2 makes it 5 points now. 76-71.
Yeah, Winnipeg had the momentum starting the half, but it's not sticking. It doesn't look like.
Yeah, there's been this defensive flash that we just had that has kind of faded out again. I think San Jose has just been good enough offensively, really make it ineffective. And that long 3 shot was a failure. So now San Jose will get the ball back again here. McMillan getting the pass from Karastados, hands it over to Gakar. Shot clock at 5 seconds here. Gakar's going to need to make the shot.
There he goes.
And the ball is tipped out of bounds. The Thrust will keep it. Yeah, so for what it's worth, I've not been unimpressed by any of the rookie play. It's been the Elders that I think have just been a little bit off tonight. And so we've seen a little bit of an interesting dichotomy between our starting players and the bench.
But it's all the more reason that you want to make sure you're developing those players. People have bad days.
Absolutely.
You don't want them.
Caliber. Oh, come on, Caliber. You'll get over it. Play there shows that he probably would have made that shot. So McMillan will go to the free throw line, and the Thrust will get another opportunity here to extend their lead. Yeah, now it becomes the question of, are the Voyagers trying to be too defensive and it's messing with their heads? Because now we've seen a few fouls here like this. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, what they're doing doesn't seem to be working all that well for them. I think they might be overthinking it. And I think, too, they may just be getting outplayed a little bit.
Interesting, because it's been so easy for this team in the past to really shine defensively. As San Jose almost gets the turnover there, but Caliber, believe it was Caliber.
Yeah, manages to snag it and get the layup.
5-point game now with 1.5 minutes left. Caristados looking for an opening. Gonna go for the awkward layup. The Owl makes it though. So it's 80-73.
No, it does feel like the Voyagers just haven't quite gelled tonight, save for those few minutes right at the end of the first half.
There's been some individual player efforts that I've been very impressed by. McMillan here kind of being twice about what angle he's taking this ball from. Caristados under the hoop, though, with the shot, makes it 7 again. Baltaev will bring the ball up for Winnipeg.
Yeah, Caristados is really shining this game.
Another 2 from Baltaev, though. And the Thrust now in the quick score mode. As we are under 30 seconds left in this third quarter. They still are holding this lead, though. That defensive play there could mean... Oh!
Nope. It could, but it didn't.
I often look to efforts, and I think that was Dofrey or Falcon that stuck their hand up there. Knocked it down. That's the end of the third quarter. And it's another 5-point difference. The Thrust still hanging on with this lead. They are up 82-77. With the assist of the game. Look at that assist, Donovan. Yeah. Wasn't it beautiful?
Truly a thing of wonder.
Yes, we start this fourth quarter now. Winnipeg down by 5. They will get the ball first. Goodnight is the one who brings it up to start this final quarter. Passes it over to Middendorf. Is Star, Goodnight, Caro, Middendorf.
And Lynn.
On the floor right now.
Their rookie center is back.
San Jose now with their first opportunity to get the shot in. Kakar passing it quick to McMillan. Caristados under the hoop, and that's another 2. He leads the Thrust right now in points scored, I believe, with 19.
Yeah, he's had a... It's hard to remember that he's actually did not start this game.
Not only did he not start, but he's pretty new to this team as well. So he gets fouled there and hits his second. The coach is like, what the hell? I can understand. It's a pretty stupid move to make when you're already up by 7. So Winnipeg to the line here. And now, okay, say, we're coaching Winnipeg. What do you say here at this point in the game so that you come out victorious? What do you tell your players?
I don't know. It's a little harder at this juncture than it was at the half with a 5-point game. I still
I tried to think of something, to realize a little bit looser, certainly. And you can see here getting a little bit closer protection is going to be necessary, I think, to force more mistakes.
Lean into that advantage that they theoretically have in defense. Another foul.
Second. And there will be times, when each team it has opportunities to, prove you've got the momentum, but I have not, it's not been prolonged for either of these teams. San Jose has really just kind of lucked into uh, keeping this lead, and I attribute it mostly to their offensive play thus far, and shutting down uh, starting players for Winnipeg has been instrumental to that.
And their bench is just really playing excellently today. Karistatos and McMillan, Aquino had that
Joseph Nah,
stretch. They've really all been. I think actually Nah started this game, but no, they are seeing a really solid play from their bench.
so Winnipeg here, tipped and turned over. Parkhurst will bring it back up
And get
and
fouled.
gets the points too. Fantastic play by Parkhurst. So he will take it from the free throw line and make it a 10-point game.
Oh, that's got to be hard on Winnipeg.
Yeah, the Voyagers need to make something happen now that we're close to under 10 minutes left. The crowd is still with them at this point.
They are, but it's gotten a lot quieter in here than it was in the second quarter.
Yeah, I've noticed there's been a little bit less energy to them. Parkhurst with the quick assist, rebound, and the 3-shot. And here's Cameron Parkhurst showing us that he's got some swing himself.
I mean, I really think that's going to be the story of this game is the Thrusts bench. Just really solid play.
Absolutely. We haven't talked about Parkhurst until now, but he's getting his limited minutes here and making the most of it as Melka finds Caro, or almost gets his own rebound, but misses, and San Jose will bring it back up to Parkhurst. Lets the dust settle a little bit. Ashbury over to McMillan, back to Ashbury. But yeah, there's been like a strange sense that, and with that 3,
Winnipeg calls
I
a
think
timeout.
Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we were talking about what Winnipeg needed to do to turn this game around when they were down by 5. Now they're down by 16.
Yeah, this is getting it.
So it's time to press that emergency button, and I'm glad they took a timeout when they did, because they need to get some regrouping and retooling here. Malka unable to pull that one down, and the crowd is so disappointed.
They are bringing back in pretty much their starting lineup, which, I mean, what else do you do at this point?
Dewitt Gakar now looking for some space, but there's another defensive play. Winnipeg now able to keep that score from happening as Timmins for a lane.
Oh, and he's blocked.
Oh, Runica Falcon was there to block the play. Nah, over to Gakar, and he's fouled by Caro. And the crowd, I mean, just a choir of boos and some howling too, I think.
Yeah, well, we were talking about Caro finding a way to fit into this team. This is not how you win the fans over, for sure.
I think sometimes some of these calls are a little bit questionable just because you should have the space to make a defensive play. But you also have home court advantage, so I don't know quite what's going on with the Voyagers tonight. Now they are almost down by 20.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we're starting to feel it in their energy, too. They're trying, but...
They are so... Well, how about that for
Yeah.
a statement. Again, I'm telling you that audio funnel energy, dude. Donovan, there's something. Yves
I'm
Carbonneau.
happy to be proved wrong.
Yeah. Absolutely. So with that statement shot, it's only 15 points now. As that ball just slightly rolls out of the rim, Winnipeg will bring it back. Timmins, Malka,
There we
and
go.
Kevin Malka showing his face. This
Well,
crowd
there's that
wants
crowd
so
again.
badly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Duet Kakar, we are now at 7 minutes left. The score is 97-84. Looking for the play to develop here. Ashbury will take it up and misses the layup. Let's see what happens. There's plenty of time left for this game to turn around. They will have to rely on some really good shot making.
Well done by Caro.
And yeah, it is now an 11-point game. Ashbury over to Kakar. The thrust. Looking to make this. And they will. Kakar and Garo, 16 points apiece in this game. Timmins for Winnipeg passes over to Caro.
We had been talking about how evenly matched the teams are. Certainly we're seeing that with at least their centers.
Yeah, and I would say even if you talk about the defensive play tonight, they've been a lot more evenly matched than we were leading at the beginning of this game. We're going to talk about it probably at the end here, but we're going to have some really good things to say about the Thrust's bench if this lead holds.
Yeah, they get the rebound.
Carr rebounds and makes the shot. Up. So they are over 100 points now. It is a 101-88. Just under 6 minutes left in this game. Winnipeg needs to score 13 points to tie.
Winnipeg needs to score a lot, is basically what you're saying.
Well, I admit I'm really interested and invested now at this point, but the matter of Winnipeg's potential is definitely there. It can get those 13 points.
I think they absolutely can.
Tevela over to Carr. And
Carr goes in for the layup.
Another two. He's been solidly getting those shots when the team needs them to keep this lead in the hands of San Jose. So Martino is the three.
Long three.
And Tevela will get the chance to bring this back up and make a shot of his own. He passes it over to Na, as we were calling him before the game, not available.
Yes, Joseph,
but
not
he's
available.
Definitely, he's definitely been available in this game. Long three, but that misses.
Yeah.
Carbonneau will bring it back up. Quick pass to Martineau, and that is what you want to see if you're a Voyager fan. That was excellent.
Yeah, and there's another story there. The Thrust's field goal percentage at almost 10% higher than the Voyagers tonight.
Winnipeg desperate to keep them from scoring more. They're going to start trying to get these fouls. Slow down San Jose. But it is 106-90 with about 4:15 left.
That's a big margin.
Quick layup there. And Carbonneau is now 18 points on the night.
Now we're starting, I think, to see the Thrust try and control the clock a little bit. They certainly don't have to rush to score.
Yeah, really thin defense there for the Thrust's part. Kakar will reach in. That's his second. So no foul outs in this game so far. That's been good.
And no one, I don't think anybody over 4. Not yet.
They pulled Eli Shuck before he humiliated himself off the court.
Not the best way to convince them to take you out of the reserves.
Yeah, it's been a interesting. What would you gotta say? Like 45 minutes of play or so.
Oh,
It's Winnipeg reaches in again. That's Carbonneau this time. Yves Carbonneau, often seen as one of 2 lead stars for the Voyagers. They've been together now on this team for several years. They've established a camaraderie unlike others, but I was impressed when I saw the execution on that, and I don't know if it's going to end up meaning much as they are still down. But between Martineau and Carbonneau, a quick 5-second, it was probably the best play I've seen Winnipeg make all game.
yeah, and again, you really want Martineau to have been on this team for a while, but he is, again, this is his first year playing for the Voyagers. But they do play well together.
It's been fun watching them be on the court tonight. It's just unfortunate as McMillan there makes an awesome 3-pointer. They're going to probably walk away here tonight without a W.
No, I'm certainly not looking good for him at this point.
Quick 2 there. That makes it a 15-point game. Like you do.
As you do. Yeah, you can hear it in the crowd too. I think they can read the writing on the
Here
wall.
is not giving up though. He's giving it his all. It's just not getting in there as he misses again tonight. Ashbury will rebound and bring it back up for the thrust. And if I were to thrust, they're just looking to, do around some time off the clock. Through the hoop here, quick alley-oop. Pretty decisive. That the difference here tonight was the power for the thrust to not give in to the defensive challenges that they've had.
Absolutely, they met it head on, and they're doing a great game for them. Great game for their bench.
Well, as we get close here to the end, Tevela there with the 2, quick 2 to make it 115-96. Would you give the player of the game honors to tonight, Donovan?
That's a tough one.
We saw some excellent play from Karistados early on. We've had some amazing play from the bench in general. Oh man, some fans.
Yeah, that crowd. Come on, guys.
I love that.
Jokes aside, maybe Joseph Nah. He honestly has been solid all game.
Yeah, the guards of I would give it to all the guards of the thrust. I think they've had an excellent game, and I'd say that the support of Duit Kakar has been crucial in terms of keeping Winnipeg's offense shortened here as he actually gets fouled.
Yes, there's that audio thing. Oh, look at those seats emptying out. People are done.
Well, it's actually, we haven't said this at all. It is so cold outside this stadium tonight.
It is freezing.
I think the official temperature is -10 Celsius, if I'm right. So I don't know why they would be rushing to get out. But
well, you still want to beat traffic regardless of what temperature it is outside. But it has gotten so quiet in here.
So as we finish out this game here, Winnipeg will get one more shot here. Will they just kind of let it go? I think they're letting it go.
They are. They're not even
So we will be done. And there you have it.
115 to 98.
And the San Jose Thrust get their 17th win of the season.
Wow.
So stats-wise, Pierre Carreau leads the Winnipeg Voyagers with 20 points, 13 rebounds, and 2 steals. Carbonneau, with under 32 minutes, gets 18 points. Malco, we were talking about it, scoreless in the first half, manages to get a couple shots in, 7 rebounds, but certainly disappointing from his point of view. Yeah. Mike Timmins, 14 points, a few assists, and generally speaking, a lot of minutes there to prove that he's got it in him. Martineau with 12 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists.
Not one of his better games.
No, the leading 5, I'd say, of the Voyagers were generally not that great tonight. James Caliber stepping up with 8 points, 3 rebounds. And Albert Middendorf, we didn't talk about him tonight because, well, he didn't manage to get any points tonight, but he did have 3 rebounds, a couple missed shots. Pagin Lin, 2 points, 2 rebounds, a turnover. Eli Shuck, we were worried that he was going to foul out, but they took him out before he made that mistake. And Jeremy Goodnight, 9 points and a rebound. Rookie excellency, Eric Balteev, 7 points. And Sheila Starr, with minimal time, didn't really get much of anything done except a couple shots.
Which she missed, unfortunately.
It is unfortunato. Miguel Mendoza and a single shot. So to the Thrust we go. 20 points for Dewitt Kakar tonight. Pretty excellent game for him. 16 rebounds. Only a couple turnovers and almost fouling out. That's probably the difference there for his play. Another player that was not very effective, but did make 13 rebounds was Runica Falcom, 2 assists as well. Adam Tevla with 10 points in 32 minutes, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and only a single foul. So good job keeping your paws clean. Christian Ashbury now. 13 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, and a turnover. Joseph Na with 7 less minutes, also getting 13 points, a rebound and 2 assists. He also had a steal and a block, and that goes to show that you were pretty correct in his defensive ability tonight.
Yeah, he had a great game.
McMillan, 2 points, I think 10 points, and Karistados with 21 points in 18 minutes. Awesome. Excellent play there for the Owl. Yeah. And a couple good shots from Cameron Parkhurst. Let's not write him off. Not much seen from Leroy Riot tonight, but he was on the court and did have his presence known. Bronwyn O'Malley with 7 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. And Charles Dofrey, no points, but 3 rebounds. Killian Aquino with 7 points in 7 minutes. So yeah, if I had to pick my player of the game, I would just give it to all the guards of the San Jose Thrust. They made shots when it was necessary, and their defensive play was pretty solid as well. And you'll see here, actually, in the first quarter, the 33-26 lead that the Thrust took was more or less what they needed to do to keep that momentum going. Pretty evenly matched through the first, for the second and third quarters, but it was really the fourth quarter that San Jose took over, as you can see there.
Yeah, they just took over at that point.
So in terms of this game, it really was just the Thrust outplaying the Winnipeg Voyagers in many ways, characteristic of just how different it could be when you get 2 teams on a court that that oftentimes we don't see those same mistakes made twice. So credit goes to the Thrust for working on their mistakes and pulling out a win tonight.
Absolutely. I just lay off again that I really think the story of the game is the Thrusts bench and the solid play from Karistatos and McMillan and Aquino and even Parkhurst, though he had a few less minutes. I think that was really a lot of the defining factor tonight. Can't give them all play.
So with that being, yeah, listen, Donovan, it's been a real pleasure to commentate this game with you tonight. It has actually been pretty crazy trying to keep afloat of all the action, but I think we did quite well.
Yeah, I hope so. It was my first time in the booth, so we'll see whether they ever have me back after this.
Well, we didn't miss species or misgender anybody, so we have that to be proud of. For what it's what it's said, this has been a really good game, and congratulations to the Thrust for pulling out the victory. Just a couple notes before we log off. The next Sports Den will be later this month, and it will feature T-Matt Latrins and Ryan Eastman as commentators. So be on the lookout for that game. It will be, I believe it's Hawaii.
At Las Vegas.
Yes,
on January 29th.
Thank you. So be on the lookout for the next Sports Den. And until then, I've been Matt Lewis.
And I've been Donovan Ritter, and will hopefully continue to be. Have a great night.
See you, everyone.